Thank you for your time. Thank you to UEFA and to IBSA for the support to deliver this program and this seminar. And well, I'm very happy to see a lot of faces again. This is the last session of our seminar, but of course, it's not the end. So if you have more questions, if you have suggestions, ideas in future, do not hesitate contacting me, and it will be a pleasure to talk to you, chat to you, and answer any doubt or listening to your suggestions and talking about rules, because it's something that I really love. Okay, before continuing, I would like to know if you have any comment or any question from the previous sessions. Let me see the chat. Nothing. Okay. Well, so let's continue. Just a second. Okay, so we will continue with the rules of the game, and we're going to talk about right now about the timeout. Okay, timeout. When, how many. Timeout, it's an opportunity that the coaches have got to ask for a timeout, specifically as the name says, and it's an opportunity that the coaches has to give kind of indications to the team, or to try to help the players to be more relaxed and drink water, or whatever they want. It doesn't matter. It's totally up to each team when to ask for a timeout, but they can ask up to one timeout per half. So one in the first half and one in the second half. If they do not ask for a timeout in the first half, they cannot ask for two in the second one. So it's one per half. That's all. So when do we have a timeout, players are allowed to go to the substitute bench, but they have to stay inside the pitch. So they go physically near the substitute bench, but they remain inside the pitch. The guide is allowed to go inside the pitch, also to be there with the players. And the coach, the doctor, and everyone is allowed, even the substitute players are allowed to be next to the sideboard, so they can be all together in a group and they can listen to what the coach is saying, and they can talk and whatever. So it's a moment where all the substitute players and all the staff are allowed to be inside the coach area. The players, the goalkeeper, and the guy cannot go outside the pitch. The substitutes, the coach, and all the staff cannot go inside the pitch. They have a minute, they do whatever they want, and then it comes something that is very important for us as referees. As soon as the timeout finish, we need to check the eye patches, because during the timeout, if it is a hot day, they will be putting water on the face to refresh themselves, doing all the kind of things to feel more comfortable, and that will produce maybe that the eye patches will be off. So we need to check it, and we need to do it in a fast way. We don't need to be 1 hour checking the eye patches. So what can we do? Instead of waiting for the players, we go to the place where they are. So as soon as the timeout finish, one referee goes to one team, the other referee goes to the other team. We try to stop the players right there, and we try to check as soon as possible. Sometimes it's possible, sometimes they are sooner and they go to their positions. Okay, then we move and we check the eye patches. That's very important. When can you ask for a timeout? You can ask for a timeout whenever you want. To the third referee, as a coach, you can ask, but the referees will allow a team to have a timeout when the team is in possession of the ball and the ball is out of play. So for example, if we are playing Canada versus the US, Canada asks for a timeout and it is a corner for the US, the ball is out of play, but the ball is not in possession of Canada, so we will not have a timeout. But if Canada asks for a timeout and it's a corner for Canada, okay, the ball is out of play, the ball is in possession of Canada, so we allow the timeout for both teams. Okay? So let's watch a short video of the situation, and then I will see, because I think that there are some questions on the chat. Okay, so that's an example of a timeout in a real match. As an advice, do not run all around the pitch with the ball in your hand. It's better to leave the ball where you are going to restart. Because in this example, it's very easy. It's a corner. So everyone remembers where you are going to restart. It's easy for the referees, it's easy for the staff, it's easy for everyone. But let's suppose that it's a free kick, 1 meter outside the penalty area, so 7 meters to goal. It's a dangerous free kick. It's a good opportunity to score a goal. Leave the ball there, so we are sure where to restart. Okay? And it's easy for everyone. Let me see, I think that there are some questions or just comments.
Just one question, Mariano. Substitution
Yes.
during timeout, is that possible?
Substitution during the timeout. It's possible, yes. No problem at all. It's possible. You can do it. We have a lot of examples of substitutions during timeout. It happens that you have the substitution ready and there is a timeout also at the same time. So we stop the match, we make the substitution, and then we don't restart. We allow the timeout. That is a waste of time. Of course, not a waste of time of the clock, because the time is stopped during the substitution, during timeout. But it's a waste of time for the whole match. So we can allow the timeout, and during the timeout, we make the substitution. So one thing is we are saving time of the whole match. The other thing is, if we have the substitution at the corner point, the player who is going to enter is going to play. If we don't allow the substitution during the timeout, he or she is going to be all the timeout at the corner point, and he or she will not listen to the coach. So we allow the substitution. He goes where his or her teammates are. He listens to the coach, see what's going on, and then we continue playing without any problem. It's okay. Do referee has to check eye patch after timeout? Yes, as I said, timeout finish. It's very, very important to check the eye patches. One referee with one team, the other referee with the other team. So we are sure that everyone is checked. Okay, that's everything about timeouts. Sorry, about the chat. No more questions on the chat. Timeout is very easy. As you see, important thing, only one timeout per half. And if you don't ask for a timeout in the first half, you don't have 2 times out in the second one. Okay? Great. Someone wants to ask. I think that there is a hand up. Satika Kumar.
Yes, I've posted the question again in the inbox. Like, I just want to, can you please repeat this substitution again, please?
Sorry, can you repeat, because I could not listen properly.
Is it audible? Is it audible?
Your sound quality isn't too good. It's very difficult to understand you.
If you can write the question, it will be better. Can you write on the chat box?
Yeah, it's an inbox.
Can you please teach again about the substitution change, please? The substitutions? That's a substitution procedure, you mean?
Hello? Hello?
Yes, tell me.
Is it audible now? Yeah. Just can you please repeat about the substitution change again, please?
The substitution procedure. The
Yeah,
process
please.
how to make a substitution.
Yes.
Okay. Very quickly. We have up to 6 substitutions per half, and we have free quantity of substitutions during half time.
Okay.
The player who goes out can go in again. There is no problem about that. And that counts as another substitution. The substitution, you have to make the substitution when the ball is out of play, and you have to announce to the referee in advance, of course. So third referee will allow the substitution and will inform the referees inside the pitch who is going out, so that player can go out. And once the substitute player is checked, all the eye patch and everything, and is ready, he or she goes inside and we go on playing.
Okay, is it that so? So it is that every referee should ask every time about the
every time that you want to make a substitution, you have to inform first, as a coach, you have to inform first referee 3 or referee 4. They are outside, and they will check the substitute player to be sure that the player is okay to go inside and play, that the eye patches are correct, that all the uniform is okay. And once it is approved, control table will allow the substitution when the ball is out of play.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank
Welcome. Okay, now let's continue. And let's go to maybe the most interesting part of the rules, the fouls, okay? We all love playing football, and we all love making fouls to the opponents. That's true. When we play, we always do that. So we need to understand, and we need to know in detail what kind of fouls do we have in blind football. What is the difference between team fouls, personal fouls, accumulated fouls, how many, all those things. But first of all, we need to understand, and we need to put our mind in referee mode and to think that this is football. And then, as I said, I think in the first session, this is football. And then this is blind football. They are football players. And then they are blind people. What do I mean? We should work as referees and we should understand that they are football players. We don't have to feel pity or sorry about them because they are blind. And every time that they fell down, we whistle a foul. Because if we do that, players will feel, first of all, that you're not respecting them as football players. And second, they will start to control the match because they will realize that every time that you fell down, that they fell down, you whistle. So they will start control the match. They are football players. They are great football players, professional ones. They train a lot. They deserve all our respect. And as any football player, they want to win, which is logical and it's okay. So if you do not control the match as a referee, the players will control it. So please remember, they are football players. Yes, with a disability, with a problem in their sight capacity, but they are football players. Okay, great. So let's start talking about the fouls that we have in our sport. And let's talk about the players, the blind players, first of all. Because there is a couple of fouls that are just for the sighted goalkeepers. We will talk about it today, don't worry. But let's start with the fouls for the blind players. So we have got two types of fouls. Let me share. Accumulated or team fouls and personal fouls. Of course, all the fouls are personal. Why? Because someone makes the foul. Okay? That's why it's personal. Some of them are personal and accumulated fouls. As general, so you can start visualizing the situation. If it is only personal foul, we restart with an indirect free kick. If it is personal and accumulated, it's a team foul, we restart with a direct free kick or a penalty if it was inside the 6 meters penalty area. Okay? That's as a general idea. So let's start seeing in detail, and please, if you have questions about these about the interpretation, about what each foul means, ask me, interrupt me. This is the moment to talk. I'm more than welcome. So let's start with this list, this group of accumulated and personal fouls, team fouls. Okay, these fouls that we restart with a direct free kick. And as you can read, almost all of them, except of the last one, are fouls of sighted football. Okay, and that kind of fouls imply that you are playing or you are using an excessive force, or you are reckless, or you are careless in what you are doing. Okay, and all of them, except of the last one, as I said, are typical of sighted football. They are the same, they don't change at all. But let's see the last one, which is typical and exclusive of blind football, and it says place the ball, tackles or seeks the ball with the head down. What does it mean? When we run stand up. But sometimes, because the players want to listen the ball and the ball is down, rolling on the floor, they made this to listen properly. But imagine that if I am running like this and I crush your nose with this part, is dangerous. Very dangerous for you, for the opponent. Okay? So running like this with the head down, is it a foul per se? No. If you are alone, if no one is around you, or only your teammates are there, it's not a foul. It's not a problem. But if you go to fight for the ball is in possession of an opponent, or no one has the ball, and an opponent and you both go for the ball, and you go with your head down, that's a foul when you impact, when you crash with the opponent, because it's something very dangerous. Okay? All the other ones are typical of football, so there is no problem with those. Of course, if you have questions, tell me, no problem at all. Let's continue with the typical ones that we have in blind football. As we said, this list that we are seeing now implies that, from our point of view as referees, the player is careless or reckless, or there is an excessive use of the force. But now we have fouls that are fouls, that we are not talking about reckless or careless here. So let's start with the one that it's typical and exclusive of our sport, void. It says that it is a foul if a player fails to say clearly audible in time as the possessor of the ball could alter his, her direction to avoid him, her. The word go or void, or any other similar word when seeking for the ball, checking or searching for the ball. Okay, let me clarify. First of all, void is the translation of go in Spanish. So I go in English, in Spanish, yo voy. That's the same. We use both words as general go, voy, or any word that sounds similar, because maybe for me saying voy is easy, saying go is not so difficult, but maybe for a person from an Asian country, maybe a person from China, saying voy or go is not so easy. And they can say oi, a similar sound. That's okay. And that actually happens. If you listen to all the national teams, all of them do not say voy, all of them do not say go, but all of them say a similar word. And it's okay, because the important is that you can show where you are, you can announce where you are to the other players, and you can give the opportunity to the opponent to continue playing without crashing you. Remember that the ball has a sound. So the player that is running with the ball, he or she does not need to say void, because the ball is there, so we know where he is. But he or she needs to know where are all the others, especially if the opponents are going to try to take the ball from him or her. So saying void is very important. When? And that's comes a key question. 5 meters away, 5 centimeters away. You have to say void as it says in the rule book, in a way that allows the opponent to avoid yourself. So if I say void here and the opponent with the ball is 5 meters away, I say void 5 meters away from the other player. I announce where I am now, but then I run 5 meters in silence, and the player with the ball doesn't know if I am going to the ball, if I am going to the left, I am going to the right. So I have to repeat void again. Void, void, void. let's suppose that I say nothing. I run, and I say void when I am right there kicking the ball. I announce where I am, yes, but too near. I do not give enough time to the player to change, to pass the ball, to kick the ball. So I need to announce my position. I need to say void clearly, but I need to do it no too far and no too near to the player with the ball. Okay? Also, I need to say void. Okay, as a player, I need to say void strong enough to be listened, but not shouting. Because sometimes, you know that the ball has a sound. We need to listen to the ball to play. And if players start shouting, void, 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 next to the ear of the opponent, this is just to confuse the player. This is just to create a noise to confuse the opponent. And we will see that there is a rule about that later, and we can work about that as referees. Okay? Great. Let's continue. Handle the ball. Of course, we are not talking about the goalkeeper. We are talking about the players here. What does it mean? Mariano, come on, they are blind. Why hand? Well, I told you at the beginning, they are blind, but they are football players. And they know where the ball is. And they know that if they are running with the hands very up, apart from their bodies, that's not the correct position for running. A lot of football players also play goalball. Goalball is another sport for blind people and for B2, B3 people. In goalball, the typical movement is to be lying on the floor with your hands and your leg all out, apart from your body to try to stop the ball, like Superman, some of that, like in that position, like when Superman is flying. Okay, if you go down in football because you want to stop a pass, maybe there is a long pass, and you slide because you want to stop the ball, but you are in the goal ball position, let's call it, with your hands apart from your body, and the ball touch your hands or your arm, that's hand. That's not a normal position in football to slide for a ball. Okay? So there is hand in blind football? Yes, there is. Let me see if there is any question. David, have we got anything?
No, no questions, no comments.
Okay, great. Okay, let's continue. Thank you. We have got to hold an opponent, to split an opponent. Well, this is no difference from sighted football. It happens. We have to be aware of that. Sliding. Can we slide in blind football as a player? Yes, we can. No problem. If I am alone, if there is no opponents near me. So why is that? Because think about a sliding movement. You slide, all your body is at the floor level. The other blind players come running. They can step on your head. They can kick you. It's very dangerous for you. And also, when you slide and you are blind, it's also very dangerous for the opponents because you are not sure how many players are right there. So we can slide to stop the ball when there is, for example, a long pass. So maybe from one side, from the left to the right, there is a long pass, there is no one, and I slide to stop it, it's okay, no problem. But if we have an opponent near, it's a foul, and it's a very serious and dangerous foul. Sliding is not allowed. Okay? Let's continue and let's see personal fouls. Personal fouls, as we said, we restart. Excuse me. All these fouls that we have just talked, as I said, team fouls, we restart with the direct free kick, and if any of these happens inside the penalty area, it's a penalty. Okay? Great. Now, personal fouls. Only personal fouls, we restart with an indirect free kick. So if they happen outside or inside the penalty area, it's always an indirect free kick. It's never a 6 meters penalty. Okay? It means that even though these fouls happen inside the penalty area, we are going to restart, then we will see from where, but we are going to restart with the defender barrier of the opponent team. Okay? So let's start with the goalkeeper personal fouls. The idea of the sport is that we have to attack. We need to go to the other goal. We need to try to score goals. We don't have to waste time on purpose. So we have a couple of rules that doesn't allow the sighted goalkeeper to waste time. So we have an indirect free kick if the goalkeeper, after releasing the ball from his or her possession, he receives it back from a teammate without the ball first having passed beyond the halfway line or without it having been played or touched by an opponent. Okay? So the goalkeeper has the ball, the goalkeeper passed me the ball, I am a teammate, I am a defender, and I do not go forward, I do not attack, I do not pass the halfway line, I wait there, and when I listen that an opponent is coming, I pass it back to my goalkeeper. That is not allowed. If the goalkeeper stops it with the hand, with the leg, with the head, whatever, it doesn't matter, it's not allowed. As soon as the goalkeeper touches it, it's an indirect free kick. Okay? Exception, I receive from my goalkeeper, I advance, I pass the halfway line, the half line, I turn around, I came back, and then I pass it to my goalkeeper. That is okay, because I move 20 meters to the other side. Remember that the pitch is 40, so if I pass the half line, I advance 20 meters. The opponents don't want to come, okay, I turn around, I come back, but if not, I cannot pass it to the goalkeeper. But let's suppose that I do that. I receive from my goalkeeper, I advance, I pass to the other side, I turn around, I came back, and I pass back to my goalkeeper. Up to here, it's okay. But now, the second rule, the goalkeeper cannot touch, cannot stop that ball with the hand. Because the goalkeeper is receiving the ball from a pass of a teammate. I kick the ball to him or her, so he or she has to stop it with any part of his or her body, but not with the hands or the arms, of course. Okay? And the last one, the goalkeeper touches, control the ball with the hands after passing to him deliberately from a kick in. Why? Because the kick in, we don't have throw in here, we have the kick in. The kick in is with the feet. So it's also, we are kicking the ball to the goalkeeper. So it's similar to the previous one. Okay? There any question? Microphone is on.
Yes, we have some comments and questions in the chat. The first one from Saitha Kumar. You were talking about players sliding. How will the slider, so the player who's sliding, know there are people around? Is the question from Sathia.
Okay. How will the slider know there are people around? That's why, first of all, if any player is moving, as we said, you are going for the ball, you are running, you have to say boy. So I listen people saying boy, I know that there are people around. Let's suppose that I want to slide to stop the ball, and I do not know that there is a player there because I didn't listen or I didn't realize that he or she had been saying boy, boy, boy. Okay, that's my problem. That's why sliding is a foul. Because I am taking a risk. I'm taking a huge risk when I slide. Because, as you said, it's difficult to know maybe if there are players around. And when you are slide, you don't know if you're going to stop your sliding in 2 meters or in 5 meters, maybe. It depends on your strength.
Can I ask a question?
Let me finish, please. So, yeah. Sliding is a foul if there are players near you. If you slide and you don't know if there are players or not, you are taking the risk. Yeah.
Can I ask now?
Yes. Yes, tell me.
Yeah, like you were telling about the sliders without knowing the people around. If he or she is sliding, then the foul is on the slider.
Sorry.
No, you said the foul is on the slider when he or she is not aware about the people around, right?
So the
yeah,
player who's sliding commits the foul. Is that correct?
My question is that if the people around when the slider is doing, if they are not giving the sound of boy, go or something else, is that the foul on the players who are nearby?
Okay, so first of all, we need to see the situation. If I am a player, I am standing, I am not moving, I am right there waiting, try to orientate myself. So I am not moving, I do not have to say boy. And you come running and you slide and you crash me, that's your foul.
Okay.
Because I was not moving at all.
If the person is moving?
If I am moving without saying boy, you slide, it's foul, it's infringement of both. When you have two fouls at the same time from different teammates, it's not a foul for anyone. So we stop it, and first of all, we see that there is no one injured, because if I am running without say boy and you slide and we crash, sadly could happen that there is an injury.
Okay.
And then we restarted with a drop ball.
Well, fine.
Okay.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. The next question from Sky, Arthur Banning, regarding the handball rule. Laws regarding a ball hitting a hand, even if it's accidental, if it leads to a goal or creates a goal-scoring opportunity, is it still a handball in 5-a-side? That's the question from Sky.
Well, we have not changed the rules like in 11-a-side, like in professional football, regarding ball, regarding hand. We have not changed it. So if it is accidentally, let's go playing. If it is on purpose or because the hand is in a place that is not a normal position to be when you're running, then you whistle the hand. But I get your point. So far, we have not updated the rules. And I think that I comment this in the first session. The rule book will be updated when the Paralympic Games finish. So the new rule book will be uploaded and will be official next January the 1st. So January the 1st, 2022. We have not changed the rules.
Okay,
What is the distance? Yeah.
One final question from René van Offel. What's the distance, the minimum distance for the opponents when there's a free kick?
Okay, great. That's part of the next law of the game when we talk about free kicks, but it's connected with what we're talking. So great question. Minimum 5 meters. Corner kick, free kick, kickoff, minimum distance of the opponents 5 meters from the ball. Okay.
It's the same the futsal game. It's the same distance.
Actually, yes, it's like
yes.
futsal, like futsal.
Yes.
At least 5 meters. Yes.
Okay.
Yes. As you can see, this is a blind football rulebook, has some things for 11-a-side. Yeah, give me just a second, René. Some things from futsal, but this is blind football. So the rules are specific for our sport. But as you said, yes, the distance is similar. Why in this case the distance is similar or exactly like futsal? Because the size of the pitch of blind football and the size of the pitch of futsal is the same. So having the same distance helps a lot. René, you have a question, I think.
Yeah, yes, it is a follow-up from my question I just had from the distance. How do the players know what is 5 meters for taking the distance?
Well, they have a very good orientation. Don't worry about that. But of course, this is part of referee's work, referee's duties.
Yeah.
We need to, first of all, you remember we move the ball to call the player who is going to restart the free kick.
Yeah.
Put the ball there, and then, okay, we will see all the procedure later, but we have to tell the defender barrier and all the players around the ball, we have to place them at least 5 meters away from the ball. Not only the defender barrier, be careful, because sometimes you have the ball, you have the defender barrier, and you have another defender on the left, maybe, or on the right. So everyone around the ball, every opponent should be at least at 5 meters distance from the ball. The referee has to work with that, has to indicate to the players where to be without pushing, without holding. Okay, of course, without kicking the player, yes. Sometimes we want to kick a player, like in sighted football, but we can't. So yeah, but yeah, again, in the previous session, we talked about some keywords that we can use to communicate. Okay. If you say 5 meters, 5 meters, 5 meters to a defender player in Argentina, in Italy, in China, in England, they understand because they know that it's a free kick and they know that they should be 5 meters apart away from the ball. So you indicate 5 meters, 5 meters, 5 meters, and nicely with your arm, you guide them. No pushing, no holding. Nicely, you indicate you move them. Okay?
Clear, thank you.
Never do the typical thing in sighted football where the referee go and say PPP and with the arm shows where the defender barrier should be, because the blind players are not going to see your arm and they are not going to go there. And of course, we need to show them where to be, and then we need to be aware, we need to pay attention, because you place them at 5 meters, you turn around to go to the ball, and they go 1 step forward. So pay attention to that, okay?
Thank you.
No, please, my pleasure. Any other questions?
Yes, we have a comment or a question from Lokniti. What's the difference between a personal foul and an accumulated foul?
Well, we have the different lists of fouls. First of all, as a main idea, as I said, if it is just personal, we restart with indirect free kick. And as you can see, accumulated fouls or team fouls, of course, we restart with a free kick in the accumulated one, but the accumulated implies physical contact. Now we will see the list. We haven't talked about the list of personal foul for players yet. We started with the personal foul for the goalkeepers, and then we have this question. But then you will see that the personal fouls for players does not imply kicking the opponent or pushing or so strong physical contact. But the team fouls imply a physical contact. I slide and I kick the player. I do not say ball and I crush the player. I push, I hold, okay? That's as a general thing. Another important thing is the quantity of fouls that we can have, talking about cumulative and talking about personal. But let's talk about that after our break, okay? So let's have a 10 minutes break and we continue with the fouls of our sport. Thank you for your time.
Boh. Non è che hanno detto che facciamo pausa.
Però voglio entrare un po'.
Poi devi staccarti di chiudere dal cellulare prima.
Esci.
Joy. Andiamo. Dai, forza. Questo è questo, dai.
Dice io non so.
Well, okay, everyone, thanks for being here again. Let's continue. So we are talking about the fouls. We are talking about team fouls or just personal fouls. We said that the team fouls or accumulated fouls, we restart with a free kick. The personal fouls, we restart with indirect free kick. We talk about the team fouls. We talk about the goalkeeper's personal foul. Let's continue talking about the blind players' personal fouls now, okay? So it's a personal foul. We restart with indirect free kick. When a player plays in a dangerous manner, prevents the goalkeeper from releasing the ball from his or her hands, up to here, like sighted football. And then we have this important rule from blind football: holds onto the keyboard with both hands when playing or attempting to play the ball, taking an advantage for opponents. So let's start. Do you remember that our pitch, 40 meters long, 20 meters wide, in the 40 meters long, on the left and on the right, both sides, we have the kickboards, we have the sideboards. When the balls bounce there, we continue playing, there is no problem. That sideboards helps the ball to be inside and also helps the player for orientation. Some players touch the sideboard so they know where they are and they continue playing. If they are alone, they put both hands on the sideboard to orientate themselves and they continue playing, no problem, that's okay. But let's suppose that they are fighting for the ball with an opponent. So I have the ball next to the sideboard. René comes. René says boy, so no problem. He's with his head up, no problem. He's not sliding, no problem. But to fight for the ball, he put both hands on the sideboard, so that helps him to fight for the ball. Okay? That's a foul because he's taking an advantage. And that's an indirect free kick and a personal foul for René. Obstruction, like in sighted football. And then we have this is also about blind football. Activate blocking as a second teammate against an opponent at the sideboard. So one player versus one player. Let's suppose that we say boy, heads up, so there is no foul. Everything is okay. One player versus one player, no problem. Two players versus one, no problem. 3 versus 1, no problem. 4 versus 1, no problem, okay? 5 versus 1, big problem, because if it's 5 versus 1, probably we have the goalkeeper outside, so that's a big problem. But coming back, up to 4 versus 1, no problem, any part of the pitch. But what happened when we are to the sideboard, to the kickboard? Imagine this, you are the player, you have the ball. So you have the kickboard. You can not go back. You can go left, right, or forward. You have a player on your left. You have a player on your right. You can go forward. No problem. We continue playing. Now, let's suppose that you move and now you have in front of you, you have the sideboard and you are right there with the ball. When you want to turn left, there is an opponent, boy, pressing you here. When you want to go to the other side, another opponent comes, boy. So what can you do? You cannot move forward because you have the sideboard. You cannot change positions because you have the sideboard and players. And it turns into not playing football. It turns into karate or judo because you start pushing because you want to go out. So we need to prevent that. We need to avoid that. And you want to play because you have the ball. So I have the ball. The sideboard is here. One player comes. Boy. Okay, I move. Another player comes and they press me. I am in the...
No, io Pina. Vieni, dai.
Let me
Vieni.
switch off microphone.
Uno. No, ma tanto già fatto. Dai, tranquillo, staccane uno.
Enrico, if you can... okay, right. So we have one player on one side, one player on the other side, and I have the sideboard on my front. I have nowhere to go. The second player that comes, he or she is awarded a personal foul, and we start with an indirect free kick. Next one, play the ball lying on the floor, taking advantage of an opponent without touching an opponent. So this is very important. We are not talking about sliding here. Do you remember that we said a sliding is a team foul, and we restart with a direct if there is an opponent there or we touch or whatever. Here we're talking about playing the ball lying on the, we are lying on the floor. Maybe we are running, we fall down, there is no foul, and we continue fighting for the ball. There is no one around us, no problem. There is an opponent, and we touch the ball, this is a problem. We don't kick the opponent, we just touch the ball, and it's an indirect free kick. Let me show you a couple of videos to understand, because it's important to, okay, we read, we talk, but also when we can watch the situations from real matches, it's even easier. And let's understand the difference between sliding and between playing the ball being lying on the floor, okay? So give me a second, please. No, not this, sorry. Okay. Can you see my screen there?
Yes, we can, Mariano.
Great. So let's see this. Okay, let's go back. There is a long pass, okay? And the player is lying on the floor, sitting. Is there any opponent near? This opponent is 2 meters, 1.5 meters, 2 meters near. So there is no danger so far. If the player number 11 stays on the floor when the green player arrives, it's a foul of number 11 because he cannot be here. But look what he's doing in this video. You see, very quickly he goes up and he continues playing. So when the green player arrives, he's up. There is no problem. This situation, no foul. No problem. Okay, let's see again. No one. Up. Continue. No problem. Okay, that situation, it's perfect. No problem at all. Now, let's see another example. Let's see this. Okay, let's see again. Player has got the ball. Green player has got the ball. No foul. He fell down. No foul. He's sitting on the floor. He's lying on the floor. White player is right there, near, fighting for the ball. And if you can see now, the green player kicks the ball. You saw? Can you? Let's go back. There, right there. That is a foul. What kind of foul? Personal. Touching the ball, lying on the floor. Personal, indirect, free kick. Okay? Can you understand the difference from the previous one? Yes? Okay, and now let's see another one. Okay, this is the third example. So we have first, lying on the floor, we stop the ball, okay, because no one around. When the opponent comes, the player is up, we continue. The second, fighting for the ball, lying on the floor, foul, indirect, personal, because the opponent was right there. And this is another option. And then it's totally different thing. It's a foul of whom? Of white. Now, white player slides. He knows that there is a green player there. That's why he's moving around. So he takes the risk of sliding because he wanted to stop the ball, because he knows that the pitch is going to finish in 2 meters. So he needs to slide to stop the ball, and he takes the risk because he knows, if you pay attention to his movement, he knows that there is a green player. That's why he did not go on running directly. He moves around and then he slides. So this example is sliding, team, and personal foul, because we said that every team foul or cumulative foul are also personal, direct free kick. Let's see again. Then, at that moment, he realized that there is a green player in front. So he moves around. You see? Now he knows that the pitch is going to finish and he needs to do something, and he decides to take the risk of sliding. Sliding, one of several examples of sliding that we can see in blind football. But with these 3 videos, I hope you could understand the difference between sliding, fighting for the ball lying on the floor, and fighting for the ball lying on the floor with no foul at all. Is there any doubt or any question regarding these situations? Let me see the chat, please. Is it? Okay, some of you are asking me if you can have these documents by email. I think that we talked about this in the first session. We are recording because we are going to upload the sessions to our official IBSA website, so you will be able to watch everything later as many times as you want. Is it a foul because it hit him? Sorry. Enrico, which one are you asking about? About the last video? About the second one? Okay.
Tackle in green, come te lo dico? Yeah. In English, vediamo se riusciamo a capirci. Il giocatore a terra, tackle, out, full, per aspetta.
Parla italiano?
Il giocatore a terra, visto che a terra e inciampa, è fallo, giusto? Il fallo è perché è inciampato. Non si può intervenire da terra.
Now, no foul.
No foul?
No foul. No foul. No foul.
No foul? No foul?
Foul.
Foul, okay.
Wide, because sliding and the player is there.
Sì, okay.
Imagine, same sliding, player green, not there, playing green, 5 meters away, okay, no problem, because no players.
Okay.
But now, player there, and you see, it's dangerous. For both players, it's dangerous. You see what happened? The other player fall over him.
Fall. Okay. Okay.
Great. It will auto-stop if player fall down to avoid other player step on the player. It will auto-stop if player fell down to avoid other player step on the player. So the question is, I think, if a player fell down, another player is coming running, if the referee has to stop the match. Okay? Well, first of all, common sense. If a player fell down here and the ball is on the other side in the penalty area and the team is avoid to score a goal and you stop the match, everyone is going to kill you, including me. Okay? So, common sense. Prevention is very important, of course. If you are right there near, you can say to the other player who is coming running, you can say, voy, 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 and the player will move around you thinking that you are a player and you avoid clashing. Okay? If it is the player, if the player is down, it's not a dangerous situation. Maybe the ball is alone, no one is with the ball, and everyone is going to step over the player. Yes, stop. We prevent. We need to avoid injury players, of course, but common sense. Pay attention where is the ball, pay attention what is happening before stopping the match, okay? It's football, it's very important. It's professional football. They want to score a goal. We don't need to stop the match every time that the player falls down. Exactly like in regular football in that sense, okay? Any other question? Oh, okay, let's continue. Okay. Let's continue with the personal fouls of players. If you make, this is blind football, so we need the noise of the ball to play, okay? And we need silence of the audience, we need silence of the sighted people so the blind players can listen the ball. But what happens if a blind player is making noises to disorientate the opponent? Well, it's a foul. So I am a blind player and I am running like this, clapping, clapping. That's just to disorientate the opponent. That's not the regular way of running, clapping. And do you remember that we talk about void? So it's the same. If I go to fight for the ball and I shout, fight, 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 just to disorientate the opponent, it's a foul, okay? So we have to pay attention, of course. That shouting is disorientating the opponent or not. If the opponent cannot find the ball, indirect personal foul, and we continue playing. The same is connected, is related to break the silence deliberately during the match. Okay? Shouting anything, shouting, here I am, here I am, here I am, pass me the ball, pass me the ball. And that only makes the opponents or even your teammates not to be able to find the ball. Well, we need to avoid that. They can say, hey, here I am, pass me the ball. Yes, of course. They can, but in a way and in a volume that allows the match to go on, to continue. Okay. We said that this is blind football. The players have got an eye test by doctors before we start the tournaments. But there are different levels of blindness. That's why we play with the eye patches and with the eye mask, because it's not the same if you have an artificial eye, for example, or if you are blind according to the doctors and according to the parameters that we need for blind football, but you can see a shadow from another shadow, for example. I'm not a doctor, I'm not an expert, but to clarify, that's why it is important that we keep all the time, we have to be all the time checking that the player doesn't touch the eye mask, doesn't touch the eye patches. If we think that the player is doing that on purpose, we need to be very sure, please, that they are doing that on purpose to put off the tape and to get some advantage. That is very serious. It's a foul of that player. And again, as you can see, there is not a physical contact, so it's an indirect. You ask me the main difference between personal and team fouls. Well, you have here another. When we talk about the goalkeeper and the personal foul of the goalkeeper, we said that the idea of the rule book is that we have to attack, that we have to go to score a goal. That's why the goalkeeper cannot receive the ball back all the time. Regarding the players, you need also to attack. Let's suppose that you are, let me show you. Let's stop this. Okay, so we have the pitch, okay? I have the ball, green, red is waiting. They are not coming. Let's suppose 1-1, final score, we all go to the next stage of the championship. So we want 1-1, we don't care, okay? But if I lose, I don't go to the next stage. If green lose, they don't go. So it's not official agreement, but we want both of us want to draw, let's suppose. We don't want to attack. So we just pass the ball, 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 and they wait, they wait, they wait. No problem. We can do it up to 40 seconds. If we are more than 40 seconds without the intention of attacking, then the ball goes to the other team. It's a personal foul for the player and it's an indirect free kick for the other team. What is the intention of attacking? Go forward, kick the ball, at least pass halfway line. Okay, but it should be very clear that I don't want to go and I can go. Different is if I have this situation. I have two players of the red. I cannot go because I am not good enough to go. So I have to pass. And he's not good enough and he has to pass. And the red comes again and comes again. And the red are really trying to get the ball. So it's not that I don't want to attack, it's that I cannot. But when it happens that I don't want, I really don't want, this is the typical situation. The red is not coming to fight for the ball, the green doesn't want to go, okay. Then I have up to 40 seconds to do that. If I am doing that without attacking more than 40 seconds, indirect free kick for the other team, personal foul for the player that has got the ball. Okay? And then if something happened that we need to stop the match, to send off a player, and it's not mentioned, it's also personal foul of the player and an indirect free kick. This is an extra law that we always have in football, in sighted football also, that allows the referee to control the match. Okay. We have fouls also from the staff, from the coach, from the teammate, for the substitute players. Not only fouls of the players inside. Why? Because we need silence to play the sport. So imagine that we are playing inside with no problems, but there is a substitute outside all the time. Come on, let's go, come on, let's go, come on, shoot the ball, come on, come here, go there. That sound doesn't allow the player inside to play blind football because you cannot listen to the ball. Or let's suppose that the coach does not respect his or her area to talk. So the ball is almost at the corner, which means 30 meters away from the coach. At that point, the guide has to talk, not the coach shouting 30 meters, but the coach keeps shouting. That sound doesn't allow the players to listen to the ball and to play properly. So we have a couple of fouls from the staff, from the substitutes also. So, as I said, they do not respect the areas, like the guide area or the coach area. They do not remain in silence. They complain about referees' decisions or they behave irresponsible. Well, all those fouls are an indirect free kick. Okay, indirect free kick. This is important. Coaches and guides have not got personal fouls. So we don't count I don't know if you're listening to me. I'm having a problem with my Zoom, actually.
We can hear you okay, Mariano.
We can still hear you, Mariano.
Picture is frozen.
Okay, so I will continue until Zoom works properly again. as I said,
No, I think we've lost Mariano. Sorry about this. Mariano, can you hear us?
to the coach or the guide, but it's not a personal foul. Okay, now, why I said that it's not a personal foul? Because the player has got a limit quantity of personal fouls that they can commit during a match. Okay, so when a player commits 5 personal fouls in a match, the player cannot go on playing. He or she has to go out. He can be at the substitute bench for the rest of the match, no problem, but he or she cannot re-enter anymore. And there is no sanction at all for the next matches. It's just for that match. If the team still has got substitutions, remember that we have up to 6 substitutions, the team has the option of completing with a substitution. Okay? So, I am playing 5 personal fouls, Mariano out. My team can make a substitution. Okay, Dennis, he goes in and we continue playing. Different situation. I am playing 5 personal fouls. I go out. My team has no more substitutions available. Sorry, the team has to continue with 1 less player. Okay? Exception, there is 1 exception. What do you think? Which could be the exception? Okay, the exception is exactly, yes, the floor Banlin, yes, exactly, the keeper. Thank you, the goalkeeper. This is sighted football. We cannot play without a goalkeeper. It's because this is blind football, sorry. So we cannot play without the goalkeeper. We cannot put as a goalkeeper a blind player. So if a goalkeeper has 5 personal fouls, the goalkeeper out, and we have no more substitutions, okay, so now 1 blind player goes out and the substitute goalkeeper goes in, and we continue playing with 1 goalkeeper and 3 players. Okay, so we are fair with the opponent and we continue playing. Okay, now what happened with the team fouls, with the accumulative fouls? We also have a limit. Up to 5 team fouls per half, it's a regular free kick. But since the 6th team foul per half, it's a penalty from the 8 meters penalty point. Okay? 8 meters. I don't remember who mentioned futsal. It's similar to FIFA futsal, but FIFA futsal is 10 meters. Here is 8 meters. Okay? So, personal fouls. 5 personal fouls is the limit in the whole match. Team fouls, 5 team fouls, okay? Number 6, number 7, number 8, team foul, it's a penalty from the 8 meters point per half. So if I have 5 team fouls in the first half, I will start the second half with 0 team fouls. Okay? And I count again, so it's per half, the quantity of team fouls. The quantity of personal is the whole match. Let me see if there is not saying ball, team foul, team and personal foul. Remember that every team foul is committed by someone. Someone did it. That person also receives a personal foul. So I don't say void, personal foul for Mariano, and team foul for my team. I fight for the ball, sliding, sorry, not sliding, lying on the floor, sitting on the floor. Personal foul for Mariano, no team foul for my team. That's the differences. Okay? Good. Now, let's continue. Free kicks. Free kicks, it's always important to have an order in the work that we do as referees. So we whistle a free kick, point the direction. Remember from where, because you or the other referee has to go for the ball. The players are not going to go for the ball to restart the match. You have to go for the ball, you have to remember from where, you have to shake the ball, and you have to place the ball where to restart. Then we indicate to the control table who made the foul and what type of foul. Because at the control table we have another referee that is writing down in the match report and is counting the quantity of team fouls and the quantity of personal fouls. How do we indicate? It's very easy actually. Let me show you. Can you see me? It's very easy. P, I whistle. I point where? Look in the control table. Just look in the control table. I show the number. Number 5, team foul. Ready. Or number 5, personal foul. And that's enough. Let me put in silence. So, in any language, it doesn't matter if you are from Argentina and the referee at the control table is from India or England or Mexico or wherever. You don't need to talk. You just need to show, and showing with your fingers and your body expressions, you pass the information to everyone. So it's very easy. P, there. Number 3, team foul. Number 4, personal. It's a second. It's very easy, and everyone knows what's going on. And also, not only you, but also the coaches know what's going on. Because the coaches want to know if a player has got 3, 2, or 4 personal fouls in order to decide if they need to make a substitution or they can take the risk of having the player the whole match. It's important for the tactic also. Okay? And then we place the ball and we have a procedure. 5 meters distance, as René asked. And we imagine that everyone is shouting at the same time. The guide is shouting to the player what to do, how far they are from the goal. The goalkeeper is shouting to the defender barrier, go left, go right. That's a mess. The coach is shouting also, that's a mess. So we give times, different steps we have, and we give time for the goalkeeper, for the guide, and for the player to orientate him or herself. So what do? We place the ball. We place the defender barrier at 5 meters. Everyone in silence. Keeper ready. Keeper. Goalkeeper. Everyone understand that. So at that moment, it's the goalkeeper time to orientate the defender barrier. Left, right, whatever he wants or she wants to say. Then silence. Guide. And we give the opportunity to the guide if we are in the guide zone, if we are in the last 12 meters. Because if we have a free kick 35 meters away from the goal, we are not going to say the guide to orientate. But if we have a free kick 7 meters away from the goal, it's a good opportunity for scoring. So we give the guide a time to orientate the players. We need to be sure that when the guide is talking, the goalkeeper is in silence, and the coaches are both in silence too, in order to allow the player to orientate themselves. Ready? Everyone in silence, everything ready? Eye contact with the other referee, and whistle, and we play. But careful. We do all this. Everything is perfect. And when we restart, we are next to the kicker and we make beep to restart. Now the player will be blind and deaf, because with your big whistle next to his or her ear, yeah, it could be a problem. So everyone is in silence. Beep is more than enough, and we play. And they can orientate themselves, okay? Let me show you a small short video and we continue. Okay, so that's a free kick from a real match. And as you can see, there is a foul. We put the ball to orientate the player who is going to restart. In this situation, we orientate one player of the team, and then the team decides. For example, in this video, they put 3 players to restart the free kick. Then we place the defender barrier 5 meters. Different styles, different ways. This is a match with 2 very experienced national teams. So the referee only made 5 meters, p, and they listen the whistle and they go back. There is no need of guiding them, because they are very, very experienced players. Maybe with new players, you need to guide them, but always push them in a nicely way. Do not push them, do not hold them in a way that is not pleasant for the player, okay? And then we give the time to the goalkeeper finish, silence, we give the time for the guide finish, silent, beep, and we play. Okay? Let me see. Not saying voice. Tony, what is the purpose to us if the goalkeeper is ready? They can see and should be aware what is happening on the pitch. Yes, we do not want to know if the goalkeeper is ready. We want to know if the goalkeeper has finished with the orientation of the defender players. But as we said, we need to find ways to communicate internationally. So if I said to a goalkeeper of Brazil, for example, keeper ready, he understands, ready, silence, he finished, and we continue. If I said to a goalkeeper of Brazil, for example, goalkeeper, have you finished orientating all the defending players and are you ready to continue playing the match? Thank you. Probably he will say, what? So we need to communicate very easily. Keeper ready. Tony, you speak English very well, so for you it's useless, but you have to think how to communicate with everyone in every language. That's the issue. And again, it's not for him, it's to be sure that he has finished with the orientation of the defender barrier. Is it the duty of the keeper to arrange the players for the free kick? No, the keeper has to organize the defender players. The goalkeeper cannot go, in this case, 35 meters to the other side to organize the kickers of the free kick. Okay? The guide has the chance to organize, to orientate the kickers of the free kick with words, with commands, and hitting the goalpost, cling, cling, left side, right side, but the guy cannot go inside the pitch to orientate the players. Okay, there you have, David posted my email, so you can contact me later. And David, if you want to include your email, because there are some questions for you also.
Yeah, sure, I'll do that, yes.
Okay, great. So let's see another important placement. And we have here, for example, about the 6th team foul, which is a kick from 8 meters penalty dot, let's call it. So as you can see, everyone have to be 5 meters away from the ball, including the teammates in this situation, but they have to be behind an imaginary line of where the ball is. So you have the ball here, and we cannot have a player 5 meters away from the ball, but at the corner arc, for example, because they should be behind an imaginary line of the ball, okay? And this foul should be restarted with the intention to score a goal. So they cannot pass the ball. They have to kick the ball with the intention to score a goal, okay? Penalty kick, 6 meters, is very similar, but we have two big differences. The first one is that if they want, it's kind of difficult, but they are allowed to, they can pass the ball forward, no backward, okay? They can pass the ball forward. And the other difference, I don't know if you have realized, is the goalkeeper. In the 6 meter penalty, as you can see, the goalkeeper must be on the goal line, okay? But in the 8 meters, the goalkeeper can be anywhere inside his goalkeeper area, okay? Great. We have a detailed explanation of how to complete the match report. The match report is easy to complete, no problems. Seems that it's not important, but actually it's very, very important. That's why we have a detailed explanation. You can find it in the IBSA website, of course, to read it in detail, because the match report is an official document. It's not just to say, okay, England 2, Canada 3, and that's all. It has a lot of information. We know who were the players that played the match, and that will give, for example, eligibility of a player for another tournament, because in some regulations, a player to play, for example, in the Paralympic Games, you need to have already played in previous tournaments. There are kind of eligibility regulations. We know also, as referees and as coaches also too, we know how many fouls were in each half and at what time. So we can start thinking what happened, why a player has 0 fouls in the first 15 minutes and has got 4 fouls in 3 minutes at the end. Maybe the player is not in good physical condition, so he's tired and he started making fouls. Well, all that kind of tactics that coaches use, and sometimes always the referees we can use to analyze and to organize a match, are very clear in the match report. That's why the match report is also very important. And as I said, we have a document published on the IBSA website in detail how to complete the match report. we are running out of time now, but we have completed all the laws of the rule book that I wanted to explain in this seminar. I will be, of course, very happy to receive all your questions whenever you want. David gave you my email on the chat box. And I want to repeat that I am really, really happy of your commitment and of your interest to be here, to pay attention, to listen to me, which is not so funny sometimes, I know. But well, that's life. So thanks a lot for your time. Thanks a lot for being here. I hope you could find this seminar useful. I hope we can work together again in near future. Please be in contact with your local blind football teams, be in contact with your local national federations for sport for the blinds. Keep in contact with David, with me, keep in contact with IBSA, because there are a lot of opportunities to work as referee in blind football. Blind football is growing a lot. Male and female blind football is growing a lot everywhere. So I will be more than happy to work with all of you in the near future. Of course, if you have any comments or questions now, I'm here. Okay. David?
Yeah, there don't appear to be any questions or comments, but maybe one or two will come in while I'm talking. Just to reiterate Mariano's words, thank you very much for attending the course and for your interest in blind football. We hope you found the course enjoyable, helpful, interesting, and we hope you will have the opportunity to put into practice what you have learned over the 6 hours of the 3 sessions on this course very soon in local games, and perhaps we will even see some of you at international competitions at some point in the future. Mariano's available for any questions regarding rules or refereeing. I'm available for any questions of a more general nature regarding blind football. Just to remind you that this course was brought to you thanks to the support that we receive from UEFA, and we are holding the course as part of our IBSA Blind Football Development Project Europe. We may offer more advanced courses at some point in the future, different kinds of courses online, and as Mariano said earlier, the 3 sessions from this course will be posted online in due time, in due course. So that's really all from my side. Thank you once again. Enjoy the rest of your evening, the rest of your morning, your day, and we'll keep in touch. Goodbye now.